It is rapidly approaching a decade since Middlesbrough last played in the Premier League, and whilst they have been in the mix to get back to the promised land, it still hasn't happened. So today, I'm taking a left field approach. Middlesbrough have a vast history of Australians playing for the club. Currently, they have Sam Silvestre, Tom Glover, Riley McGree all on their books. So today, I'm going to continue this trend. I am going to not only get Middlesbrough back to the Premier League, but to a Champions League title, signing only Australians. I think this one's a guilty pleasure for me as much as it is trying to help Middlesbrough out. So here is the default Middlesbrough starting lineup that we do have when we take over. Of course, you got Riley McGree on the left-hand side of the midfield, Tom Glover, who I'm throwing in between the sticks, and Sam Silvera. Did I say Silvestre before? Sam Silvera on loan at Portsmouth, coming back next year. But for me, I want to front load a lot of our business. Season 1, we need to lay the foundations, get things moving for Australian and Middlesbrough football. This probably isn't the best way to start the video in terms of keeping Middlesbrough fans on side, but we've done a deal with one of our biggest rivals. It had to be done though. This guy is one of the best Australian prospects, starting to fall off a little bit, so I want to salvage his career. It is Garang Kuol signing on from Newcastle United. We get the winger from Newcastle United for £1 million. I'm also going to sign somebody. To be fair, I'm going to send Kuol off on loan, hopefully. I also want to sign Daniel Benny off on loan. He is not ready to be in the starting 11. He needs to apply his trade in League 1 or League 2 for a while, but Daniel Benny is going to join us from QPR for £500,000. Let the player departures begin though. We're going to sell the centre-back Lenihan to Trabzonspor, £1.8 million. And Daniel Barlasa heading up to the Premier League, heading from North England to South England with Southampton. The goalkeeper Seny Dieng heading to Argentina permanently. This is Tom Glover's club. We're going to depart with Lucas Angel, the left back. Big move. And that is because I want to sign Jordi Boss, the former Melbourne City and Westerlo defender, will be joining us. Stoked with this one. £2.5 million to bring him across from Belgium. Boss is going to be our first starting 11 signing here at Middlesbrough. I want him to be the guy for the entire rebuild. Followed up pretty damn quickly by our second signing coming from Manchester City, the attacking midfielder, Alex Robertson. Now, when it comes to the right back role, I'm taking a little bit of a downgrade and I'm making a little bit of a strategic move here that might not benefit us right now, but I think long-term is the right call. So our new signing is going to be Miller from Hibernian, from Hibs, the right back, 23 years of age, 67 overall. What I've actually done is a swap deal. Luke Ayling plus £66,000. We knew we had to get rid of Luke Ayling, and I think it makes sense to just do a straight swap, a little bit of money from our end. So Miller's going to come in now as a starting right back. But long-term, I want it to be a Giuseppe Bovellina, who we've just signed from the Vancouver Whitecaps. 19 years of age, 60 overall, best potential out of Australian right backs. So I am immediately throwing him on the loan list. Finally got some loan moves moving here. Rav Vandenberg could be a great option long-term for now that I'm going to loan him out. Alex Bangura heading to Nantes for £2 million, but more importantly, getting some loan moves sorted now for some of our Australian players. Daniel Benny heading to Castillon for the year, and Garang Kuol heading to the bright lights of LA. I am pumped with this one though, fellas. Absolutely over the moon. I've used him already in a rebuild this year, but when I'm doing an Australian one, it is a no-brainer to make him a star point of a side. But it is Alessandro Sirasati. I feel like he just kind of popped up out of nowhere as a great Australian prospect, but I'm so excited for the future of this young kid. Our biggest signing of the season, we signed him from Parma for £5.5 million. The clean out continues here though, fellas. The right back Tommy Smith heading to Turkey. Dijksteel heads to Genoa, which means Miller has the official starting right back role. We get a deal over the line for Bovellina, who heads to Al Tawon for 2 years. And I'm also going to loan out the Irish attacking midfielder Finn Azaz here to Atalanta. It was a weird one. I didn't know whether to loan him out or sell him. I think we can still get a lot of growth out of him, but my plans are to have Alex Robertson as the starting attacking mid. Now, I think I might have overall made this team a little worse just for this year. I think we had a team that could have pushed for promotion, and I think we could still possibly do that, but I think I wouldn't mind going to the playoffs and getting eliminated in the playoff final this year, just because I think some of our young players need some time to grow. If this team got to the Premier League right now, we would get absolutely destroyed. But we'll see how we go. We'll see how things are looking come the 1st of January. Okay, we are doing pretty damn well this year. I mean, we're already kind of falling out of the automatic spots. Leeds have run away with it already. They're 14 points clear. If they don't get promoted, that's going to be an ultimate choke job. We sit 10 points behind Burnley, but we are entrenched within the playoff spots at the moment. I will say though, I am a little bit worried about the future of the striker role, so I'm going to try nipping that in the bud here in January. Australia does have a serious lack of superstar strikers up and coming and already established, so I'm really going to try plucking somebody out of left field, really trying to harness the okay potential players we have right now. First guy we're going to sign, who I'm going to put into the starting 11, is Nicholas Milanovic. He's a default left midfielder from my favorite Australian club, the Western Sydney Wanderers, but he can also play striker, so I'm planning on converting him there and seeing if he can be the answer. Because, I mean, you look at who we've got now, like Lath is going to be half decent. He's only got 5 goals in the first half of the season, and 3 of those came in friendlies. And the strikers we all have, they're all in their mid-20s. They're all like high 60s, low 70s. There's nobody that stands out as somebody we can keep in the club and develop. I mean, ironically, all of our goals in the first half of the season are coming from Riley McGree. And the next 3 guys I get, I'm going to try getting loan moves for straight away. Musa Toure signs on. Jace Tyler Novello is going to sign on. And Musa Toure's brother, Mohamed Toure, is also joining us. 1.3 mil from Randers. God, this has been a busy first year. It doesn't stop here though. I'm selling out some of the big name players. I want to clear the laneways for our Australian strikers, and especially Milanovic. So as you saw, Marcus Forst leaves, and so does Emmanuel Lath heading to Hoffenheim. And we're going to say goodbye to the American striker Matthew Hope, who heads to Sheffield United. Getting some loan moves happening here though. Musa Toure heading for 2 years to Sheffield Wednesday. A short 6-month loan move to Al Ahly for Mohamed Toure. Also, for those of you wondering why I haven't gone in for Iran Kunda yet, he's currently on loan at St. Pauli, teaming up with Jackson Irvine and Connor Metcalf. But I want this man. I want this man in our side, hopefully next season. We have missed out on the playoffs by 1 point. I mean, we avoided getting promoted this year. Next year, that needs to be the goal, getting up to the Premier League. But we have finished 7th right now. I would have liked to at least go to the playoffs. Overall, that's a pretty successful year. 7th in the championship with Middlesbrough. Leeds do hold on. Them and Burnley absolutely crushed it this year. Relegated down to League One are going to be Derby, Millwall, and Sheffield Wednesday. Tottenham win the FA Cup. We went out to Crewe in the 3rd round. Chelsea win the Carabao. God, we have done horrible in the Cups. And it is deservingly Luton Town joining Leeds and Burnley up in the Premier League. Riley McGree, who hit 75 overall, does hold on and become our Golden Boot winner, which is incredible to see. Robertson, 9-5, good first year for him. Gilbert, who I did not expect to do much, has had a half decent year. But this is the problem. Bergzog, I had transfer listed him, couldn't get a move across the line for him. He steals all of the game time basically from Milanovic, who only gets himself 3 goals in 13 games. How did the loaned out lads go? Vandenberg goes up to a 72, Bovalina to a 62. We're not going to build these young guys up in a day. 67 for Sam Silvera, Azars to a 73. We're not going to build it up in a day, but it's all about just consistent growth. I don't want it stalling. 63 for Benny, which is awesome. That's +5. 67 for Qual. He might honestly be able to come back into the starting 11 next year. But the thing I'm most interested in is strikers. Mohamed Toure up to a 67. I think I'm going to give Mohamed Toure the starting striker role next year. I know I've only given Milanovic half a season, but 2 years younger, 1 overall less. I think it's worth a crack. Musa Toure up to a 62, Novello up to a 63. Going to be letting a bunch of players go. Most of them are young prospects who are in the 50s who really aren't any decent, but we are going to have Johnny Halson retiring. And I mean, this kind of does solve a problem, but Delano Bergzog is heading to Leeds United next year, so we're going to lose the striker, which is a good thing. But that is a monster. Season 1 done here. Let's crack on in Season 2. So Tom Glover obviously isn't going to be the guy that wins a Champions League with us, but we need a goalkeeper. So what I'm doing, I'm making a big time upgrade for now. If you're Australian, you know who this is. Matthew Ryan, Australian national team goalkeeper for the best part of a decade. But we're really struggling to bring that next big name goalkeeper through. So I'm going to sign Matt Ryan here from AS Roma, £3 million. And then I also want to go in and get some young goalkeepers for the future. So Matt Ryan joins us from Roma, 3 mil. Long term, I think Joe Gauchi could be a great option, but unfortunately he's off on loan at the moment. And also so is Iran Kunda, so I'm probably going to have to wait until at least January for him. If he's on a 2-year loan at St. Pauli, That'll be a little frustrating. But a fella who could absolutely be an option down the line, Nicholas Bilakapic, I'm signing him from Peterborough, going straight on the loan list. A player departure in our back line to start season 2 though. Matt Clark heading on a Spanish adventure. Blocking offers straight up though for Alessandro Cirisati. He is a guy, I mean, we don't have that many good prospects, so the ones that exist, I need to hold on to as hard as possible. I'm actually going to make a free agent signing. I'm going to be keeping my eyes glued to free agency every single year. Stanley Rogers, young Australian centre back. Might not be insane, but I'm willing to explore the option signing him on here at Middlesbrough. Speaking of centre backs, we're going to sign the absolute man mountain that is Harry Souttar. No denying that he has struggled in real life since he's joined Leicester City. I want to bring him to Middlesbrough, get him some consistent game time. He's so damn tall, he almost doesn't fit in frame. But it's a pretty good price, 2.7 mil to bring him down from the Foxes. Signing on the young attacking midfielder Miguel De Pizio from the Central Coast Mariners. Sending Jace Tyler Novello on a 2-year loan to Saudi Arabia. Sol Bryn also heading to Saudi Arabia. He heads there permanently. Cashing in on the Irishman Finn Azaz, just shy of £5 million for him. Josh Coburn, this was a tough one whether I loaned him out or sold him, but I have decided to sell him. I was umming and ahhing whether I tried to make Garang Qual fit into the squad this year, or whether I just played it safe and continued to loan him out. And I have decided for the latter. 2 years at Rangers, that could do him the world of good. 2 years for Daniel Benny heading to the Saudi League on loan. Nicholas Milanovic is going to be meeting Qual in the Old Firm derby. He's joining up with Celtic. And Rav Vandenberg getting some valuable Premier League experience heading to Palace on loan. There is going to be a lot of loans in this video, if you couldn't already tell. I am hoping for 3 more loans in this window. First one happens here, Stanley Rogers. That's the second one. One more to go after this. It is going to be Miguel De Pizio, 2 years at Aruca. I'm really curious to see how he grows. Finally, we got it done. I genuinely did not think we were going to get this loan move over the line because it was dead quiet for a while. But Nicholas Bilakapic is heading to Portugal for 2 years. I did think I was done with signings in this summer window, but I was looking at the squad and I realized our squad depth is absolutely atrocious. Certain injuries in certain areas of the field, and we'd have to have like a 55 rated youth kid in there. So I'm going to make a defensive midfield backup signing. Aiden O'Neill is going to be joining us at Middlesbrough. A pretty modest £2.3 million transfer transfer fund. And as a backup left back for Yordi Balls, we're going to go ahead and sign Joel King from Sydney FC. Very, very interesting year ahead of us right now. I've made the necessary additions, I feel like, to our starting 11 in Matthew Ryan to get us hopefully promoted to the Premier League. The overarching question mark this year, though, is striker. If Toure starts the year poorly, I honestly feel like I might have to go out and start a youth academy. I'm already on the cusp of right now of just purely looking for strikers. This is one of those rebuilds where the database is so small for Australia that I truly don't know if I'm going to be able to complete this rebuild, but we're giving ourselves the best shot possible. Let's see how season 2 begins. But lads, if you are enjoying this rebuild and you want to see more rebuilds like this and you aren't already subscribed, go ahead and scorpion kick that subscribe button down below for us. We're sitting 8th right now, sitting 8th in the championship. The good thing though is that we're only 3 points. We're only 1 point out of the playoffs, 3 points off of 4th place. But again, the top dog running away with it this year. Leicester City already 15 points clear of the playoffs. We just need to focus on ourselves and make sure we do not finish outside of the playoffs again this year. Oh my God, Iran Kunda is still on loan at St. Pauli. My whole plan was to sign him this window in January, still on loan at St. Pauli, my God. And Joe Gauchi's still on loan in bloody Germany. That throws my plans in the water. All right, trust the process, I guess. We are into the playoffs. Our slow start to the season cost us potential promotion. We only finished 7 points behind Ipswich, Leicester breaking the Centurion mark, but it is between us, QPR, Coventry, and Southampton for the final spot in the Premier League. Are we going to make it to the big smoke? Down the Premier League table, and it is going to be Oxford, Huddersfield, and Portsmouth going down. Arsenal win an FA Cup. Again, another 3rd round exit there. Arsenal also win the Carabao, and we went out in the 1st round there. That is not a good omen for the Championship playoffs. But we have got we've got to win when it matters. We have got a win when it matters. We are heading to Wembley. We took down Coventry City 4-3 on aggregate, and we're taking on Southampton for a spot in the Premier League. Is it Southampton or Middlesbrough? It is Middlesbrough. We are back in the Premier League for the first time in almost a decade. Come on now. Riley McGree. Oh my God. 25 goals for him. Toure gets himself 18, which is an incredible start. Big question mark on our side though. Aidan O'Neill off the bench. I mean, it looks like he started a lot of games. He gets himself 20 goal contributions, but it is a big question with our team whether we can do this in the Premier League. Aidan Morris up to a 78, which is really nice. Little Cabbage goes up to a 68 on loan. Vandenberg 74. I know he's got great potential, but I'll probably just try to keep loaning him at least for the next year or two. Rogers up to a 66. Right back is an area of concern. Bovalin he's progressing okay. But Miller 71 rated. Maybe we might have to just move to a 3 at the back formation or a 5 at the back formation. DePizio +3 to a 66. Benny 67. Qual up to a 70 right now. Toure 73. Milanovic 71. Musa Toure 66. And Novello's doing pretty damn well. 68 overall. Again though, if we were in League 1, I'd be feeling pretty good about the future. But coming into the Premier League, it's going to be tough. Harley Hunt and Sonny Finch will not be joining us in the Premier League, though. I'm going to let their contracts expire. Normally in a rebuild, when I get to the promised land of the Premier League, I am pumped because it means I can spend a lot more money and get the squad a lot better. Unfortunately, there's not those superstars for us to sign when it comes to Australia. So it just means we put a lot more emphasis on getting young players in. I'm just going to be continually trying to build up the foundations every year. We've found a young centre back here from Zurich, Peter Hawkins, who signs on for 1.1 mil, 66 overall. Could be a player to watch. Jacob Farrell, the former Central Coast Mariner, can play a wide array of positions in our backline, so I'm thinking I'm going to try making him our answer at right back. He's only slightly higher rated than Miller, but it's still an upgrade. And Jacob Farrell is going to join us from Portsmouth for 2.5 mil. Lewis Greenwood, young right midfielder from Motherwell, signs on for 1 mil. And Owen Oakley, young goalkeeper from the Melbourne Victory, signing for 1 mil as well. I'm just trying to throw darts at the dartboard and find talent. And yeah, I don't know what is going on with Iran Kunda. He legit must have signed in that January window of season number 1, but he is still on loan at St. Pauli. At least he's getting some growth. But I want to supercharge it. I want him to come here and just turn into the world's best midfielder. When it comes to loans this year, I'm really trying to focus on doing 2-year loan deals. Unless your name is Rav Vandenberg, only a year for him to go to Nottingham Forest. I think he could become a starter next season. 2 years for Bovalina, who heads to West Brom. Stanley Rogers, 2 years at Antwerp. Owen Oakley to Empoli. Louis Greenwood to Swansea. And Peter Hawkins to Portugal. And after just 2 weeks, Jacob Farrell can now become a right back, and he's going on his way to become a 73 overall, which is not great for the Premier League, but it's great for what we have right now. Probably overdue, but I'm going to hire this guy, Harley Wall, 4-star, 5-star, scouting only Australia. I mean, I do love how many countries you can scout this year. There are a lot that I want to be going for in regards to, I want to do some really cool videos scouting certain countries, but we're heading to Australia. Interesting they put us in Oceania when we are in the Asian Confederation, but I'm going 9 months and I'm going for anything. Oh, I forgot. I really haven't done much scouting this year. I can select up to 4 positions, which is nice. So I'm going goalkeeper. So if I select only goalkeeper, I can only do goalkeeper. So I'm going to do this one right back, striker, CDM, and center back. And I'm going to be really cutthroat with it. I just want to get the best of the best in. So I'll show you if we find any insane superstars. And for our final signing in the window, Jake Brimmer is joining us from Auckland FC for £1.5 million, a backup at the attacking midfield role. I have zero clue if we're going to be able to survive relegation with this team, but let's just dive in head first and see how we're going. All right, we're in the thick of the relegation battle. It's no surprise to see us in the battle, but I'm actually pleasantly surprised to see that we are on track for survival. The goal is 40 points. Halfway through the season, we are bang smack on with that. And there are so many teams around us. I mean, every team all the way up to 10th, essentially, are in the relegation fight. Even Tottenham, you could make a case for. If we win a game, we could move mid-table. You can make a case Man City are in the relegation battle right now with 28 points. I think my face is covering it, but Leeds, Leicester, they're on 16, Everton's on 17. So it's all very, very tight. It's a miracle, lads. Iran Kunda's back at Bayern Munich. I've got to go in for him. I'm throwing our whole budget at him. Luckily, there was a whole lot of budget to throw, but we get our man. I didn't expect it to take me 3.5 seasons to bring him to the club, but at least we've done it. This was a no-brainer. Our marquee signing for this Premier League campaign, swapping the red of Bayern Munich for the red of Middlesbrough. Probably the most amount of money we'll spend in this entire video, but Iran Kunda joining us for 23 mil. When it comes to our youth academy though, we haven't found any insane players. One that I'm going to promote to the senior team though, and try getting a loan move for, is this guy, Jake Finch. 65 overall already, 74 to 82 potential. There is a nice foundation to build off here. I'm going to promote him and immediately try getting him a loan. And there we go. Jake Finch gets his loan move. Going to be keeping an eager eye on our youth academy product. Heads down a division to Coventry. We're staying up, boys. We survived by 2 points. Oh my God. The goals against is brutal. We conceded 82 goals this season. But we have got ourselves 35 points, just shy of the 40 goal. But it doesn't matter because we only had to get 34. Forest, Ipswich, Leeds United go down. We've survived our first season in the Premier League with Middlesbrough. Scrolling up the table, the big dogs. Man City had a much better second half of the season, but it is Arsenal winning the league by 12 points. Aston Villa win the FA Cup. I can't believe it, lads. We actually made it past the 3rd round. Oh my God, we made it past the 4th. What's going on? Don't tell me. We lost to Man United in the quarterfinals. We actually went on a cup run this year. Leicester win the Carabao Cup. We made it to the quarterfinals there as well. That's a big turning point. Going to take a look at European football for the first time today though. Real Madrid win the Champions League, Frankfurt win the Europa, and Torino win the Conference League. Mohamed Toure, take a bow, my friend. 25 goals, 6 assists. You questioned whether he could get it done in the Premier League. He's done better in the Premier League than he did the Championship. 78 overall. I've invested all of my chips into him as the star striker, and it's paying off. Silvera getting a lot of game time off the bench, and he actually gets 11 goals, which is insane. Super sub. Iran Kunda in half a year, up to a 79 overall, 12. Robertson gets himself 18 assists. We have had a very solid season here at Middlesbrough. As always though, curious to see how the lads off on loan went. Bilikapic up to a 70. Oakley to a 66, Vandenberg 76, but unless there's somebody higher rated that I can sign next year, he's going to come in as our starting centre back. Stanley Rogers 67, Hawkins 68. They're both pretty mediocre players. Bovalina up to a 67, Finch 67 as well. DePizio coming back from loan next year, he's 69. I'm going to continue trying to loan a lot of these guys out. Benny's doing pretty well. I know he has half decent potential, but he's coming along slowly but surely. Greenwood to a 66, Qual to a 71. Toure came back from his loan, Musa, he's a 69. We've got a lot of good strikers now. Just like every year though, letting some players go. Woolston and Connor both leaving on free transfers. We survived relegation, but in season 4, we need to get ourselves as far away from that conversation as possible. We have been thrown a massive curveball to start the season. I knew Matt Ryan wouldn't be the guy that we won a Champions League with, but right now, him retiring is not good timing at all. As it stands, I don't think any of the goalkeepers on our books are in a position to come in and take over from him. And when we're talking about goalkeepers that we could go out and sign, there is really nobody that stands out. Best option would probably be Joe Galchi, but he's only 72 overall. So first thing I'm doing in this season is I'm going to Australia and I'm scouting. We are only scouting goalkeepers this year. I am determined to find the best Australian goalkeeper, the next Mark Schwarzer, the next Mark Bosnich. My fingers are crossed. We need to find somebody, and we need to find somebody that can come in and do a job straight away. A couple of young guys that I've had in my youth academy for the remainder of last season that I'm going to promote to the senior squad here and look to loan out. I'm going to promote all of these guys except for Bull because he can't be promoted yet. Some of them don't look that good, but I can always just let them go on free contracts or sell them down the line. A very niche signing here. We've signed a defensive midfielder, Isaac Horton, 17 years of age, 65 overall, I believe it is. We sign him from the Romanian league. I don't know how he ended up there, but he looks like a really good prospect. Out of all the random youngsters I've signed though, this is the one I'm most excited about, and let me tell you why. So this guy that we've just signed, his name is Samuel Warren. Now the Warren last name in Australian football is one of the most famous. Behind the Cahill name, it's probably the second most famous name. That is because of one of the most famous Australian players of all time, Johnny Warren, former Socceroos captain, went to the World Cup with us and was a huge pioneer for Australian football when it was really at a crossroads. Really tried to break down a lot of stereotypes in Australian football, that it was only for immigrants, and tried to get it to the wider Australian community. And something I haven't actually really shared too much, but I'm actually a relative of his. My mum's maiden name is Warren. I got to go to the ceremony when they built the statue for him outside of the Sydney football stadium. There's photos of me. I'm sure if I get enough time, I could ask my mum to send some photos across. My mum spoke at his state funeral back in 2005. I was really young when he died, but the Warren name, it means a lot to me, obviously, and it means a lot to the Australian football community. So seeing this guy, Samuel Warren, 69 overall right back from Sydney FC, we pay £4 million for him. I'm fired up. I want to make sure he becomes a superstar. Carry on the Warren legacy. I think we've found a good one in Samuel Warren when Real Madrid are coming in trying to sign him on a transfer. I have made a bazillion loan moves this year. I haven't shown you them all individually. I wanted to save you time there because there was a lot. I'm hoping, Samuel Warren, I cannot wait to see how he performs coming back from Stade Brestois. We are absolutely nowhere safe from relegation at the moment, though. We need that. Again, I don't want to be in the relegation battle, but we might end up there. 1st of January is going to be a huge indication. But our goal this year, we have 2 objectives. Don't get relegated and find the successor for Matthew Ryan. Once again, it is an extreme logjam in the Premier League. We sit 13th, but we're only 4 points from safety. Luton have 18, all the teams in the relegation zone, 18, and then Leicester on 10. But as you can see, we are only a few points out of potential European football, so it's up to us what the second half of the season holds. I've been going buck wild trying to find players to get into our youth academy. Some ready to go right now, but don't have insane potential, like Ryan Lawton and James Charles. It's a name, James Charles, that's a name. But then we've got players like Best, who have insane potential, but only 14 years of age, which isn't going to be good for next year. Tyler Stokes, probably the best blend of both, which is why I'm going to promote him to the senior team, try to get him a loan move here in January. To be honest, I think I'm going to promote all 3 of these 17-year-olds, because if I can get them a loan move for 6 months, we got Will Smith as well, James Charles and Will Smith. But if we can get them a loan move and get some of these guys up towards the 70 marker, at least we have something to work with, and hopefully one of them gets dynamic player potential. We did miss out on 2 half-decent prospects here though. Other clubs were able to sign them before we were. Connor Savage, Ellis Baker, both have great potential. So I've shortlisted both of those, and they are definitely options going into next year. So we got Will Smith a loan move. We got it to Orlando City. I am genuinely so pissed off we didn't get it to Miami, because then I could have made a joke about the song. Welcome to Miami. And similarly with James Charles, I'm a little annoyed we didn't get him a loan move to Young Boys for different reasons. I'll take it, fellas. 13th here, 10 points clear. It's going to be a slow grind getting out the Premier League table. Next year, we need to start thinking about some sort of European qualification. I don't know if we're there quite yet. Like, losing Matt Ryan, I think, is going to fuck us up. Pardon my French, but I think that's going to set us back a year or 2. I don't know, man. This is one of the rebuilds where I actually don't know the direction in certain areas. Liverpool win the Premier League 2 points ahead of Chelsea. Man United win an FA Cup. We go out to West Ham in the 4th round. Liverpool win the Carabao Cup. We went out to our rivals Newcastle in the 3rd round there. AC Milan win the Champions League. Aston Villa win the Europa League. And Panathinaikos, the Greek side, win the Conference League. Iran Kunda getting 19 goals. He's 84 rated. He's just gone to a different level. That's why I wanted to get him in so much. Toure, that's not good. Toure, you look at it on paper, 82 overall, 24 years of age, brilliant. But those statistics are pretty damn bad. 9 goals, 2 assists. I'm not too happy with that one. Robertson into the 80s now. Jordi Boss at an 82. Vandenberg gets up to a 79, which is really nice to see. How are the goalkeepers looking? So Bilakabic and Clover, both 71. We've got a lot of young guys that are like Oakley 69. The lads we sent off on loan have not grown too much at all, though, which is disappointing. Maybe I'm going to have to go out and get Gauchi. Maybe I'm going to have to look if any of those other goalkeepers are going to be an option. Rogers, 68. Hawkins, 70. Bovalina, 70. Finch, 69. Horn, 66. Warren up to a 71. Farrell getting up to a 76 is pretty good, though, so I'm hoping that I mean, we might buy us a little more time to grow these guys. Horton to a 68, Johnson to a 60. There is just so much work still to do, man. This is proving to be a lot more difficult with the Australians than I expected. Some positions I'm not worried about at all, but others are going to drag us back in insanely. But yeah, Matt Ryan retiring. He's still good enough to be starting right now, which is frustrating. It's going to push us into a new direction. I don't know if that's a positive one. So all our goalkeepers are back after their 6 months loan, and none of them are good enough to be in the starting 11. Our highest rated guy is Bilakapic, who's 71. These young guys are not doing all that well. I am praying that Gauchi's grown or somebody's grown. Let's go check the entire database of Australian goalkeepers. I'm praying that Matt Ryan's regen or something is on here, or Gauchi's done well. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that this is Matt Ryan's regen. Tommy Brown, 78 overall. 78 over. Okay, I'm shortlisting him. I don't think we're going to find anybody better. I mean, Joe Gauchi, I might honestly sign Joe Gauchi as a backup goalkeeper. Paul Izzo, come on, anybody? We've got a lot of young guys on here. Connor Savage, who we've got in our shortlist. Yeah, okay, that has to be Matt Ryan's regen. I'm going straight in. As far as I'm concerned, whatever this guy wants, he's going to get. We've got 42 mil and not much to spend it on. Tommy Brown, I want to get you on a lifetime contract here. That's fine by me. Those wages, those bonuses, fine by me. Tommy Brown, this is such a relief, man. We get ourselves a new starting goalkeeper. We need to harness his potential so badly. A strong first season, get dynamic player potential kicking in, get him up in all these stats. Tommy Brown, welcome to Middlesbrough. Jordy Boss is kind of a stud at the moment. 25 years of age, Rome are coming in for him. He's staying. Any good players that are Australian, they're staying. And I am going to go ahead here and sign Joe Gauchi off of the free agents list. I kind of thought he might have been able to become our starting goalkeeper when I first started the video, but now he's just a really good backup. And you might have seen his name on the short list when I was signing Gauchi, but we're going to sign the former Western Sydney Wanderer, Callan Newenoff. He joins us from Hearts for £6 million. What you are about to witness may be the most perfect loan move in the history of loan moves. And that is because Ethan Hull has been sent off on loan to Hull City. Beautiful. So this is the team we move into the season with. I feel a lot less pressure since we found Tommy Brown. I'm hoping Farrell can get some more growth, but I also know we've got Warren in the background. The position I'm kind of worried about now is Riley McGree at the left midfield role. He's been one of our best players, if not our best player in this entire video, but he is 29 years of age. I've been doing it most of the video, but I'm continuing to loan out Garang Kuol. He is, in my eyes, the perfect replacement for McGree. And honestly, I might look to do that next season so we can have a bit of time to get dynamic player potential for him. 1st of January, and for the first time in this rebuild, we sit, I guess, top half. We sit 10th. We sit top half of the Premier League table, 28 points. But it feels like every year since we've been in the Premier League, this is our 3rd year in the Premier League, and it just continues to be a logjam. Liverpool and Man United just below us, but I've got my eyes on some sort of European football. I don't know if Champions League is a realistic goal, but we're only 5 points away from it, so I'm going to push. Bournemouth and West Ham are the current league leaders. Oh my God. My jaw is on the floor. We have come second. We only missed out on winning the Premier League here by goal differential. 71 points is such a low scoring Premier League season. We almost pulled off one of the greatest comebacks ever. I mean, Bournemouth, weren't they up? They finished 12th. Holy shit, what a season for us. We're heading to the Champions League in season number 6, 7. I've lost track of where we are. This has been such a draining video, so it is nice to have a moment of joy. Tottenham, we only lost the league on goals against. That is brutal. Tottenham win the Premier League title, but we are heading to the Champions League with Middlesbrough. Liverpool in 8th, United pull themselves up a little bit, but it is Burnley, Leeds and Forest going down. Man City win the FA Cup. We went out to Arsenal in the 4th round. Chelsea win the Carabao Cup. Newcastle United beat us, which is rough. Real Madrid win the Champions League. I am so curious to see how we go in the Champions League next season. Man United win the Europa League, so they might have finished 10th, but they're going to still be playing Champions League next year. And Leverkusen win the Conference League on penalties. Mohamed Toure, you beautiful man. 86 overall now. Toure and Iran Kunda are 86 and 87. It makes sense why we had such a good year. Jordi Boss up to an 84. Riley McGree, 79. I wish he was younger when we started this career mode. Robertson at an 83. Things are starting to make sense why we are performing so well. Our players growing incredibly. Hackney and Morris, 84. We genuinely could be a chance in the Champions League next year. Qual, 76. Man, I am astonished by what I am seeing this year. Warren up to a 74. Maybe we bring him back into the squad once he comes back from loan. What an insanely unexpected season. I'm cool with that. We have found ourselves a prospect applying his trade at Swansea. This guy has floated under the radar, mainly because I haven't been looking for right midfielders. I've been looking for left midfielders as potential succession plans. I've been struggling to find guys there, so I thought, let's look for right wingers and right midfielders. Found this guy, and I'm kind of mad I didn't find him earlier. And it is 22-year-old Louis Williamson signing on from Swansea. Feels foreign paying this site sort of fee, but £24.5 million, 78 overall. So I'm going to convert him to a left midfielder. Honestly, he might have to take over the spot ahead of Riley McGree this year. Oh my God. Mohamed Toure, we just got offered £160 million from AC Milan. I could get over £200 million for Mohamed Toure. Do you guys remember when we were worried about our striker prospects? Because that feels like a year ago. Got to keep our foot on the gas every single year though. Every time we find a half decent prospect, bring them in the club, loan them out. Got to stay on top of it because we've got a good golden generation right now, but we need to keep building it in case we don't win ourselves the Champions League. We can't just go out and buy ourselves the Champions League. We need to develop for it. So we're going to sign ourselves a new young left midfielder, Louis Porter from Auckland City FC. Or it's just Auckland FC. I'm so used to the old Oceania champions. And a free agent defender, 19-year-old Samuel Jenkins, joining us on a free. Out of respect, I've kept Riley McGree in the starting left midfield spot, but I know Williamson is hot on his tail. I've also kept Farrell at the right back role, but I'm still not certain whether that's the route I want to take. I could put Warren in there. I'm also uncertain whether I should give Warren another loan move. This starting 11 though is making such good progress. I don't know if we're a Champions League winner. Okay, put it this way. If we're going to win a Champions League this year and complete the rebuild, Toure, Iran Kunda, Robertson, our top players are going to have to carry us. But when it comes to the Champions League, no surprise to see us sitting down in 36th. I think that's based on club rankings, but we are facing Sevilla, Copenhagen, Juventus, Nice, Anderlecht, Celtic, and we end it with Eintracht Frankfurt into PSG. So it's a pretty moderate league phase. Obviously, PSG, Juventus, they're going to be huge challenges, but I genuinely rate our chances of getting into the knockout rounds. Still in the throes of the Champions League, but things are not doing well in the Premier League. 12th right now. I'm not discounting it from what I've seen in this video. We sit 12th on 25 points. I mean, relegation zone is 16, so we're 9 points off that. But then we are, God, Brentford on 33. So yeah, we're kind of stuck right in the middle between the relegation zone and the Champions League. I'm hoping for a repeat of last year where we just crushed it in the second half. So we have finished 21st in the Champions League, which is just going to secure us a playoff game. I think Man City might have missed out. How many teams actually make it to the playoff round? So we're going to be versing Napoli, which is a pretty tough baptism of fire to get into the knockout round. So Man City made it. Did Atletico Madrid? I'm just trying to figure it out for future reference. They did not. So it must have been top 24. So 25th and below, out of here. Man City get through, which is a little annoying. But we can't focus on who we might verse down the road. We need to focus on who we're playing right now. Here we go, fellas. Knockout football in the Champions League at the Riverside Stadium. Our team is so damn... I think we have a Champions League winning side if you close your eyes and don't look at the left midfield and the right back position. The rest of it is insane, so I'm hoping that can help us here. First leg at home, and we lose 2-0. Oh my God. And you know why? Because Radisheliot was running directly at 75 rated Warren. Oh, that is frustrating. It looks like we're probably going to go out in the knockout rounds. In the playoff round, we need to go to Naples and pull off an incredible comeback. I'm not liking our chances, fellas, but here we go. Naples, Toure, please cement yourself as a legend. Iran Kunda, please step up, bro. We lose 3-0. Oh my God. We lose 5-0 on aggregate. That is truly a welcome to the Champions League moment. It is declared. We are the second half kings. Oh my God. We almost won the title again. 71 points. We almost won the damn title. We finished second for a second straight year. And I am stoked to be back in the Champions League. Man City win the league. Relegation zone is going to see Wolves, Ipswich, Southampton going down. Tottenham beat Bournemouth to win the FA Cup. We went out on penalties to Plymouth Argyle in the quarterfinals, which feels like a massive missed opportunity. Man City win the Carabao Cup. Again, quarterfinal exit there. Tottenham have had a brilliant season. They have won the Champions League title over Athletic Bilbao. West Ham win the Europa League, and it was almost full English domination, but Sociedad stopped Chelsea winning the Conference League. Mohamed Toure is a freak. Iran Kunda is 90 overall. Oh my God, 35 goal contributions for Iran Kunda, 29 for Mohamed Toure, and Ronnie Williamson, 81 overall. I'm assuming he's probably overtaken McGree now. Jordy Bols and Robertson, both 86. I did not expect Robertson to get up to an 86. I am very happy with that. Warren at a 76 right now. Would have hoped he had grown a little bit. I mean, Bovalina's come back and he's 73. Finch, 73. So we've got good stocks at the right back position. Tommy Brown is 86 rated. Holy shit, that's Matt Ryan's regen. Matt Ryan's regen is 86 overall at 22 years of age. Where have you been all my life? I wish Ryan retired earlier. I might have to go ask Riley McGree if he wants to take an early pension. Well, this is going to be a very boring transfer window. There is no good wonder kids coming through. We've got a few players retiring at the end of the year, so I'm hoping if we can't win a Champions League this year that we get some half-decent regens, but I'm still going to spend some money trying to improve our depth. Jake Holman from MacArthur in the A-League, trading the cowbells of MacArthur for the, I don't know, what's the trademark of Middlesbrough? Regardless, Jake Holman signing on here for £7 million. This team is unbelievable, man. It is absolutely unbelievable with the Australia. Australia would be winning the World Cup, I feel like, at this point. But the quite interesting thing is, yeah, I've put Williamson into the starting 11, but you could make a case for Gran Qual deserving a spot in here as well. 79 overall. I've brought him back to the club. I've actually brought everybody back from their loans. It is all hands on deck this year. We have got so much depth in every single position because I want us going all out for a Champions League title this year. Our second expedition in the Champions League. We start things off in September. We've got Malmo. October, we verse Slavia Praha and Sevilla. So not too bad so far. November, we have Bayern Munich and then we have Ghent. December, we face Rangers. And I think that is the identical way that we rounded out January last year. Eintracht Frankfurt into PSG. We got to the knockout. We got to the playoff round last year. I want to get automatically into the round of 16 this year. Let's get ourselves a top 8 finish. These slow starts to the season are getting boring, man. They're just so predictable. Let me shake things up and let us get top of the table in the first half and watch us crash and burn. We sit 10th right now on 26 points. I'm not even fazed by the fact we need to make up 9 points. We've done it 2 years in a row. Man City, I'm coming for your second place. Oh, goal difference has helped us out here. We finish 8th in the Champions League. I was looking at the number 4 goal difference there. We get to miss the playoff round. We finish 8th with some big teams that we could potentially face, but it's nice just to not have that banana peel and get the furthest we've been in Middlesbrough history. Here we are, boys, round of 16, and the draw has not been favorable to us. We have got Bayern Munich. Bayern Munich. Couldn't get Feyenoord, couldn't get Monaco, West Ham, Stuttgart. Nope, we're going to get one of the top dogs. We're going to get Bayern Munich. Sick. We stuffed ourselves up last season by, well, technically we stuffed ourselves up in both legs because we got done both times. But we didn't get to head into that second leg against Napoli with much confidence. We need to get confidence and off to a strong start here against Bayern Munich, which we do. It's 3-1. Iran Kunda into Toure, into Williamson. 3-1 up to take back to the Riverside. We are a different beast this year. Iran Kunda, I forgot to mention against his former side. I also forgot to notice with my eyes that he is 92 rated right now. Toure 91 and Brown 89. All right, second leg. Come on, lads. Get the job done. Get to the quarters. We do. We do it without any injuries, any suspensions, and Iran Kunda bags another goal. 4-1 against Bayern Munich. Did I manifest this? We're complaining about getting not an easy opponent like Feyenoord. Look who we get in the quarterfinals. We have been drawn up against the Dutch outfit. Still can't take them lightly, but I'm sure we can all admit it's an easier proposition than a PSG or a Manchester City. I have got zero intention of eating my humble pie right now as we travel to Rotterdam, taking on Feyenoord. First leg on the road, get us a big start. It is not a big start. It is just a 1-1 draw. Toure scores, but we're heading back to Northern England with things all tied up. We need to dispatch of Feyenoord here. Taking them lightly in the first leg. Put them to the sword here in the second. Come on, Middlesbrough. Come on, Middlesbrough. 2-1. We leave it late. We left it really late. Iran Kunda is going to be the hero tonight, and he is going to fire Middlesbrough into a Champions League semi-final. I apologize to Feyenoord for sleeping on you. You were a tougher opponent than Bayern Munich. Back to reality we go. Manchester City in the Champions League semi-finals, an all-English affair. Oh, here we go. We've got a bloody brilliant side, but against teams like Man City, it makes me incredibly nervous having a 78 rated right back in Warren. It cost us last year against Napoli. I'm hoping I'm just talking bad right now. Robertson with a red card. Oh my God. All right, it's a scoreless draw on the road in Manchester. We're heading back up north to Middlesbrough, but Robertson, 2 yellows in 11 minutes. Keep your head, son. Robertson's suspension opens the door for Riley McGree to get back into the starting 11. He can also play attacking midfield, so it checks out. One of my initial thoughts when I first started this career mode was to convert McGree to an attacking midfielder and try getting Iran Kunda from the jump or putting Kuol in there, but it is now McGree's opportunity. Scoreless at the Riverside. Can we get ourselves into a Champions League final? We do! It is Williamson who's going to fire us into a Champions League final. That is absolutely massive. 2 second half goals. Middlesbrough are heading to the promised land. But who are we facing? PSG or Leverkusen? The answer is PSG. I feel like I've versed them so many times already in the few rebuilds I've done in FC 25. Haven't lost to them yet, and I'm hoping to keep that record up. They took down Leverkusen 3-1 in the semi-finals, so they're coming in hot form. Taking a look around the grounds though, Lille have won the Europa League. Atalanta win the Conference League. We've had a better second half of the season, but it is not enough to get us back to the Champions League next year. 61 points. We finish 1 point behind Brentford. That is actually brutal, man. So we need to win tonight. If we don't win tonight, that delays this project by 2 years and could honestly time out some of our starting 11 players. Man City win the league. Relegated, Man United and Liverpool sit in the mid-table spots. Luton, Sheffield, and Leicester go down. Chelsea are going to win the FA Cup, and Newcastle United win the Carabao. I cannot wait to use this team, namely Mo Toure and Iran Kunda. If we win the Champions League here, Iran Kunda would have to be in the conversation for a Ballon d'Or. Both these guys would have to be in the conversation for a Ballon d'Or. Incredible stuff, man. Let's get ourselves into a Champions League final with this all-Australian Middlesbrough side. Wembley Stadium has already seen us win a playoff final in this video. Can it see us win a Champions League final? Oh my God, Bergvall in the box there, blasted over. Toure, step overs. Oh, Toure's made some space for himself. He's so damn fast. Oh my God. Toure is so damn fast. He just absolutely skinned the PSG defenders there. We've shown nothing in this first half, and now we find ourselves at the lead. Let's not go ahead and concede straight away. Mbappe is back on PSG. Oh my God, I was more worried about Mbappe. Get the follow-up. Oh, he puts it wide. He's put it wide. PSG have been the better team by a country mile. Just need to control them here to start the second half. They've put that one on a dime. Kubo trying to make up for his miss before, and he almost pulled it off. Williamson down the line here. Come on, we need him on the counter. Look how fast he is. Just go yourself, mate. Go back. Toure. Oh my god, fat deflection. Come on, lads. Need a second goal here. We have not been too good in this one, but it could all change. Shoot that, naughty boss. Oh, who's this Vidal person? All the regens are just so damn fast in this game. This Vidal guy, we need to watch him. Boss, I'm taking a risk by taking this one in with our left back. But, oh, Toure could have put the dagger in it. Oh my god, what a moment. We got dominated in that first half. Second half was definitely a lot more even, but we have just won a Champions League with Middlesbrough here. When I decided I was going to try rebuilding Middlesbrough with only Australians, I thought, yeah, that'll be a really fun prospect. This has been incredibly tough. There was definitely a period there where I did not think we were going to be able to achieve it, but it has come to fruition. Hayden Hackney, ironically, one of the only non-Australians in the squad, is going to be the man wearing the captain's armband as we lift a Champions League title here, the first in Middlesbrough club history. But lads, if you enjoyed this fun rebuild, make sure you click here to subscribe and click here to check out another video.